Hello, welcome back to Apollo Justice. I actually did try to record this yesterday, but I did get super high and it did come out super weird. So we're back here again. Let's just get back into it. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? I would say victim's hand, right, viewers? What do you reckon? It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards.
Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well.
Received evidence. Victim's hand. Well, time's a wasting. Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir! When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using to turn it every which way and triangle and square to zoom in and out. That should give you a better perspective on the case. Okay, let's do this. Mr. Gavin, are we gonna talk about when you just said like you were in JoJo? Or are you just gonna keep looking at? Okay, you're just gonna keep looking at me. I'm just gonna look at the evidence now. Okay. What? Your Honor! Look at this! One of the victim's cards! The back is a different color!
That's impossible. But they put that card in Mr. Wright's hand.
What was that, Miss Orley?
No, they merely said
Your Honor,
Mr. Gavin, yes.
tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker?
To cheat?
I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, or a comrade, shall we say. The dealer.
Oh!
Wait, so you mean this witness, Miss Orley? She's a cheater, a professional, I'd wager.
Order!
Focus, Justice! Time to take advantage of her! I mean of her mistake! Oh boy. Your Honor! Please recall the testimony we just heard.
That's impossible. But they put the card in Mr. Wright's hand.
Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith! Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly! Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim.
What?
Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you?
Time for justice! There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident, and if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, then that means I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder!
Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orley?
It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice,
Your Honor,
it seems you presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith.
and that means
This court cannot pronounce the verdict for the defendant at this time.
Yeah? What?
I did it! I held out!
I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Objection! Oh boy, here we go. Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook. Ridiculous!
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Like that time where he brought a bird, like a literal bird. I was sat in this chamber like, are we talking to a bird here? And then the bird would be like, Bally! And I'd be like, what? What have I become? Anyhow, perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night.
As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night.
That was said before.
The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck.
Why use different colored backs?
If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed.
You used different colors and they still got mixed up.
We used the red deck for the last game.
I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards.
Very interesting. Very interesting, viewer. Do you remember? Do you remember if there was a reason for the judge having an impression like this? Who knows? Who knows? I do. I know. You might know. You might know. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards.
Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix, which means there was cheating.
Yes, a card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises 2 very serious questions. Apollo?
Yes?
Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped?
When?
There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah. Thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Loser.
I put my hand up in my head like an L shape because I imagine that's what Winston Payne would do at this point, and then he'd get in his convertible and go drive to the mall.
Of course it was
Oh?
It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped?
When was the card swapped into the deck? What do we think, viewers? What do we think? Before, during, or after? I would say after. Perhaps it happened after the murder.
What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly.
Yes, but tell me! How do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible.
Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible.
Oh? Even when the backs of cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time.
Oh!
Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown. After the murder.
Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that?
Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us.
There's another?
Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card?
Who?
The game and the murder is done. The victim is dead. Only 2 remain in the room, alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Oli.
Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for a blue card? Who was it? Who was it, gang? So, we have to assume that... why would Phoenix do it after the game? Unless he did it to, cover up his own cheating? But then, why would he... why did he do that? Why would he do that? He's at the scene of the crime, he calls to have the police come in you know, and then he swaps a card. What's up with that? That's weird. We're looking at Ogre Orly as well. Like, why would she swap the card after the fact? If she was going to swap it, it would be before or during, right? So, the one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Right, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Ogre Orly either.
What are you suggesting?
That is hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orly at this point.
Yes, I know, but she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card.
And if the card was swapped during the game, it would be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright?
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I'm just thinking about how fun this all is.
Fun? Well, about confusing. I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the cards wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Orly, then who was it?
Water break, I think. Ooh. Payne, I love voicing you, but Jesus Christ. Oh, whew, my throat. Not necessarily the same level of enthusiasm that I have for voicing you. Oh. One sec. There it is.
Then who was it?
Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it?
Precisely.
Huh?
I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction.
A new direction?
We'll find that indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card, because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. And the other mistake was the number on the card.
Right. The person replaced the fifth ace with a king.
I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace, after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in.
But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist.
True. Not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else that night at the scene of the crime.
What?
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright.
This trial has proceeded on one central assumption. Namely, that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in the room.
I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption.
The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court.
I suppose that is a problem. Yeah.
Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Very well. The trial will resume in 20 minutes.
April 20, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the crime scene like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Ah, being mysterious, Avi. Sadly, I've no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Christoph. Justice.
Yes, sir!
The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. You did well, Apollo.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright?
Ah, you're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there.
Oh, ain't she a cutie? Look at that cutie patootie. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. I mean, we all assumed that you were gay with Edgeworth. And I guess I wouldn't stop you, but I mean, you don't look like you're gay with Edgeworth right now. Otherwise, you'd have two lockets. One with Edgeworth in it.
Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days.
One more question. The one who cheated that night. Was it you?
What do you think?
Huh?
You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat.
I never, honest! But it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years.
Wanna know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker.
Eh?
You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case.
Poker is like trial law?
Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win.
Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds.
I think not.
Huh?
Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information.
You're kidding!
That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice?
No. Come on, who would notice that?
Words, habits, twitches, it's all information for the reading. And that's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me. And now, I pass the secret on to you.
But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals.
No. You can do it.
Huh?
You just don't know it yet.
What's he talking about?
But you will. Soon. Oh, almost forgot one thing. About this case, you should know I haven't told the truth to anyone yet.
What? I knew it!
I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power.
My power? I had no idea my cords of steel were that special.
It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best.
Gambate, Apollo! Gambate! Oh, I love this game. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I think we're gonna keep going for a little bit longer. I think maybe give it, a little bit longer, let's save him. Yeah, let's go, baby. April 20, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2.
Court will now reconvene. Has our witness, Miss Olga Orley, recovered?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I should have taken the opportunity to drink. Woo! Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again.
That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne.
Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand.
Very well, the witness will take the stand.
Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession? Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poor loser.
Not. Name's Olga Orley. That's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. People call me Olga Quick Fingers Orley. I think I'm gonna try doing a Russian accent with quick fingers here. Kind of went for the American thing, but I'm gonna try Russian.
Oh, really?
Want to know something else? I'm not really Russian. Oh, okay, I guess I'm not gonna do Russian. I'm not really Russian. And my last name sounds like, oh really? There, that's the truth. And I hope you're satisfied. Witness! You will tell the court what you were really up to that night! Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see?
Let me remind you that you are currently under oath. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences.
Fine. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game, as a waitress. So you were in cahoots with the victim? Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple. Elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Mr. Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of the games. And then when their hands were revealed, Smith would call them out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card, and the trap would snap shut. You swapped the cards! Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it. It would have made a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast doubt on all of his prior wins.
A 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan.
Oh really, how droll. But it appears you made quite the mistake.
A mistake?
I agree the trap was elegant, yet what happened to that planted card?
Hey, that's right. He's lucky, I'll give him that. You'd have to be to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quickfingers Orley.
Oh, really? The witness would be much cuter if she'd have spent with the mastermind stick.
Judgy, fuck off! Who the fuck do you think you are? Go back to 4chan, Judgy. You know what? He's no longer top 10 Ace Attorney characters. Judgy, get your shit together. Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad!
When you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung.
Also, not that we're judging Olga entirely on their cuteness, but like, they're much cuter being an evil villain. Am I wrong? Am I just deeply attracted to evil? I mean, yes, but am I wrong to be? Yes. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. And then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. And it wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no good, cheating defendant.
A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark.
The trap was perfect, I tell you. Perfect! If that rotten cheater hadn't messed it up. Look who's talking! Well...
Well, the testimony for what it's worth is all yours, Mr. Justice.
Well, with witnesses like her, who needs criminals? And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors? Dum bum bum. Okay, right, we're gonna leave it off there. Mostly because my voice just needs to calm down. Yeah, well, what an episode, right? Did you see it coming with Olga? I mean, the whole like, oh, I am a frail Russian, I am of this ethnicity, and then turns out I'm actually a cool guy who doesn't speak with an accent. It's kind of a lame, like, little twist. I don't know, I hate it when they do that in shows. It's just like, I don't know, just commit. I don't know. Either way, did you enjoy today's episode? Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the fun things. And most importantly, stay gay. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.